Welcome to Life Ablaze. It's day 4 of my 30 days of channeling challenge, and I'm just going to go right into state and let my guides take over from here. We are here. We welcome you. We have a lot to cover today, so we want to immediately dive right in. The topic of today's discussion will be connecting to your heart. Now, the heart has unfortunately been a topic of confusion in many ways, in the sense that it is utilized in so many ways, along with your term love. And unfortunately, when the term heart or love is utilized in so many different contexts, it begins to water down the meaning. So, we will define what we mean by the heart today. In a sense, we are discussing the term heart in the context similar to the heart chakra, the energy center of the body, the primary chakra of the human body. This is the centered vortex of energy that is the creation of your being. It is the focal point from which everything else emerges. It is the first vital organ that is formed when a child is coming into the world, and with good reason. It is the foundation of all. Now, in your society, there is much, shall we say, confusion, partly to do with the terminology that is used, partly to do with deliberate obfuscation. Now, we mention this only to begin to point out the value of connecting to your heart, and ideally, letting it be the foundation of every decision that you make. Now, this is certainly in alignment with our overall theme of these 30 days of channeling, in the sense that we are wanting to move into greater congruency with our higher mind. This cannot be better done than through the heart. Yes, there is the idea that the pineal gland is the seat of the soul, the third eye. And while this is not wrong, this is not incorrect, the third eye chakra, is, in essence, a subset. This is a chakra that is, in and of itself, powerful, but without the grounding influence of the open heart chakra, then that which is received through the pineal can be askew. This is why you may have many who have channeled information that does not seem to gel with your instincts, with your gut, with your intuition. Because in many cases it has been done without the grounding influence of an open heart chakra. And so, we are here today to cultivate that very thing, an open heart chakra. There have been so many different experiences that you have had in your lives, so many different challenging emotional experiences that have led many to begin the process of protecting one's heart. And in many ways, this leads back to what we discussed yesterday, the idea of compartmentalization. We have put compartments around the heart. Now, while we understand the idea of this protecting you from feelings that may be painful, this does not solve any of those issues. This does not begin to heal the pain that one may feel from certain experiences. Those feelings, even the painful ones, are there to teach you something. They are there to lead you into a more authentic truth about your reality, about your relationships, about who it is that you really are. And in many senses, this information may be interpreted as pain. Now, we are not here to debate the semantics of this term. However, pain in general is something, naturally, that you want to move away from. And as long as it is labeled pain, you will naturally want to move away from that pain. But it is actually just information. So, for instance, if someone broke your heart, this was actually an event wherein your expectations were shattered. Your expectations of your connection with this individual, perhaps your expectations of yourself, but more often than not, a broken heart can be the experience of feeling something, perhaps about yourself, knowing something to be true. Say, for instance, that a relationship is not really congruent with you, not really in your greatest good. Knowing this in your heart, and yet proceeding anyway, and then finding out later on that what you felt in your heart was correct. In some cases, it may be a betrayal type of situation, where you allowed yourself to be vulnerable, and the other person violated that vulnerability. All of these are learning experiences. All of these can teach you more about yourself, much of which can be detachment from the expectations that you have on these individual situations. And each is different. So we are here to say today that if your heart is closed off, if your heart is guarded, you are cutting off your primary energy center. You are cutting off the primary source of your connection, your unskewed connection to your authentic self, to your higher mind, to creation itself. You are, in a sense, guarding yourself from yourself. And it requires energy to fabricate this compartment that you have put around it. So there is, for instance, pain that you may feel in your heart, which, whenever you think about it, might cause you the pain. Then there is energy sent to the wall that keeps the rest of you safe from the pain. And then there is what's left that you are operating within. In many cases, up in the mind. And we are not even going to say the third eye, because in many cases you are not connected to that either. You are simply living in the mind without the connection to your heart, to your intuition, to your gut feelings. The mind was not designed to operate this way. The mind was not designed to lead you around. It does not matter what you have been taught. It Does not matter what others may tell you, what you may see others doing. This is not the optimum way. This is not the way you were designed. You were designed without compartments. And so if you find yourself guarding your heart, protecting yourself from your feelings, whether they be, quote, good or bad feelings, you are keeping yourself from your greater alignment. So, how do you begin to open up? The primary way is to accept the idea of surrender. Surrender to yourself. Surrender to the feelings. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you feel, because you cannot process those feelings, which are just information, which are just there to give you information that you need to be processed, so that you may release this wasted energy loop and bring that energy back into the congruent whole again. So surrender to the feelings is the first idea. The second idea is vulnerability. We understand that there is the idea of wanting to protect oneself, but you are protected. The things you protect yourself from, again, are just the fear of feeling pain, which, again, is due to the idea of having labeled the experience as pain. If you begin to reimagine the idea of, quote, painful experiences into simply experiences, then you can begin to explore them freely in whatever they have to teach you, and begin to process those feelings and emotions and learn from them and grow from them, and to come into greater alignment with who you actually are. Because the only reason that those experiences are painful is because you had an idea of who you are that is not true. It is based on limitations that are not real. They are fabrications. They are illusions, as we discussed. And so even the pain is there as a gift to lead you through the funhouse mirrors into a greater clarity of yourself. This is vital. And so remaining vulnerable in whatever situation you find yourself in is going to teach you the greatest amount about yourself. It's going to allow you to remain open in your heart. Now, we understand that there are those who would say, but this is going to leave me open to being hurt. And we understand this idea. But what we are telling you is that while in the beginning there may be experiences where you are, quote unquote, hurt, but this is only, again, from the idea that who you are is dependent on how the other people treat you. And this is not true. This is not so. You are who you are. And no one and nothing can take that away from you, ever. You can have the experience of you giving that away, and thus result in a painful experience that you want to guard yourself from, but that all begins with you giving yourself away, giving your power away. And that in and of itself is another illusion, because you are this. When you have given away everything, that which you truly are remains. And so, if you cultivate the idea of remaining vulnerable, you will learn at a lightning pace more about yourself, more about your relationship with your higher mind, and come into full congruence, and to operate from that foundational state as much as you consciously can. It is a process, but it's an ongoing process. It is one that you will always be in. This is by design. And it's meant to be fun and exciting. And even the painful experiences can be viewed as fun and exciting because they are teaching you something about yourself that you did not know before this moment. Or it's strengthening a lesson that you've gotten hints at before, but you didn't quite accept. You were given another opportunity to accept this and to integrate this and to live this knowing. Your mind is there to serve you, but not to lead in your experience. It is meant to be a servant of the heart. The heart is meant to lead your dance. We will stop here for today. We thank you very much for this opportunity to present this information to you, and we look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you so much.